I'm doing this video today to further show how our kids are under a subconscious attack. Show you with this Dr. Seuss book, who everybody thinks that a cute little kid's book is really an occult attack on the subconscious minds of our kids. This is called Wacky Wednesday by Dr. Seuss, and you got this winged foot here, okay? And I'm going to show you the occult influence of this book and what the heck this book really is, because if you look at that winged foot, when I saw this, the first thing I thought of was Mercury, the Roman god Mercury, who was also known in other cultures as Hermes, Odin, and Woden, okay? And Mercury, by the way, is the fastest planet around the sun. Its orbit is the fastest, and its spin is the fastest of any planet. They're basically named after planet. And again, you know, there's the winged foot right there of Mercury. That's all symbols of Mercury. And here you have a symbol of Mercury on Wacky Wednesday by Dr. Seuss. Okay? Now let me show you why this gets even more wackier and why this really is a Wacky Wednesday book. Because if you look over here, you will find that the day of Wednesday was named for the planet Mercury, okay? Later named in honor of the Teutonic god Wedin or Woden, which is the Germanic name for Mercury, okay? And all the days of the week were named after planets. You know, here they are. Sun, of course, was Sunday. The big one, another big one is Saturday is named after the planet Saturn. Also Satan. You know, Friday's Venus, Thursday's Jupiter. Which brings me to the next thing. As you see over here, go back to this book. There's Mercury with the shoe, and they're talking about Wednesday, okay? Now, take it a little bit further. Who was Mercury's father, okay? Or Hermes. In this case, they're showing Hermes, but Hermes, like I said, is the same as Mercury, or Odin, or Woden. And here is the father of Mercury, okay, is Zeus. Z-E-U-S, Zeus, the father of Mercury, which Wednesday was named after, and this book is by Dr. Seuss, okay? You want to know how these people get into your subconscious minds of your kids? Here it is. Because I showed this to some people who I know are clueless about this stuff, and they were clueless. When I showed them what was going on, the blank stare on their face really was telling on how ignorant the people are. And how ignorant people are that, you know, that really don't have any knowledge of this stuff. But here you see Seuss, and here you see Zeus, father of Mercury, named for Wednesday. Okay? Now let me explain how in your face this book is, and how it's literally mocking you. It's mocking our kids. It's mocking your ignorance of what's going on here. This book is literally about this kid right here who wakes up one Wednesday and starts seeing all kinds of problems in the world. And on his way to school, he starts pointing out to people what he's seeing, these problems with the world. And what is he told? Let's see. This kid says, but look, I yelled 8 things were wrong here at school. And I'm not going to do this whole book. But what is he told? Nothing is wrong. They said, don't be a fool. So here's this kid. I mean, this is me right here, okay? This is me. I'm sitting here telling you what's wrong with this book and what's wrong with this world. And I guarantee you, most average people, I'm going to say all average people, would sit here and tell me the same thing this kid's told in this book, isn't it? Nothing's wrong. They said, don't be a fool. Just go with it. Don't look, don't see, don't tell, don't be anything but like everybody else. And if you see things wrong that are totally occult, that is not meant for you to see, then you will be told nothing is wrong. Don't be a fool, and you can yell and scream and point out. You see the things that he's pointing out is wrong? And then you got these three jackasses right here that just want to control you and say, shut your freaking mouth, kid. There's nothing wrong, when in fact, not many people can see it, and these people are going to make sure you don't. People need to understand what happens in the subconscious mind. Where are your thoughts developed? Okay, if they're attacking the subconscious minds of our kids at a very early age, these kids don't have a chance. They don't know what's going on. You parents don't know what's going on. It's just amazing to me how many people in this country are just so mind controlled and so brainwashed that when somebody shows you this and says, you know, maybe we should do something about this and make this known so we can, you know, consciously do something about what's going on in our subconscious, they will attack you. And subconscious, okay? That is where the human race is controlled. What I'm telling you, your government schools are a place of mass mind control. To take this further, I'm going to show you of Mercury, which was put up in Rochester, New York, and it was originally put up in Rochester at the site of the War Memorial, which is exactly 22 miles from the obelisk on Hill Cumorah. But it was taken down in 1951 when the War Memorial was built there, which is 22 miles from the obelisk on Hill Cumorah, okay? It was taken down in 1951 and put in storage until 1973, when it was finally put in its final spot on another building in Rochester, New York. But notice from 1951 to 1973 is exactly 22 years. Now, where Mercury originally was exactly 22 miles from the obelisk on Hill Cumorah. Is Mercury, a Roman pantheon and a psychopomp. What he also was Mercury brought newly deceased souls to the underworld. Now, a couple weeks ago, I did a video, actually 3 months ago, right here, Esoteric Connections, Mercury 22, Obelisk, Rochester, Webster, Fairport. Notice I put 22, and that was before, I didn't even realize that this Mercury statue was in storage for 22 years, because that's not a mistake. That's an occult number right there, 22, that they love to use. This video is about here, this Esoteric Connections of Mercury, it's about Officer Pearson's death. He was the Rochester police officer that was shot and killed in the line of duty, and he was shot and killed, you ready for this, on Wednesday, September 3rd. His funeral was Wednesday, September 10th, and this Mercury statue literally oversaw his funeral. You see that? This is downtown Rochester. This is his funeral. They're all lined up by the War Memorial, and there's Mercury. And this guy was shot on Wednesday. His funeral was on Wednesday. Here's his funeral 22 miles from the obelisk on Hill Cumorah, and there, right there on Wednesday, is Mercury overseeing, you know, everything, and he's the psychopomp bringing newly deceased souls to the underworld.